Hey gang, so today we're going to learn about negative slopes. Yesterday we talked about slopes and we saw how they show the change in y over the change in x and help us graph a line very easily. But we haven't seen a negative slope, so let's see what happens. In previous lessons, like I just said, we've focused on equations with positive slopes and y-intercepts. Today, you will see that there are equations with negative slopes and y-intercepts. Complete the table below and graph the corresponding points on the coordinate planes. Okay, so we have number 1. Notice that in front of that 1/2 now, instead of it just being 1/2, we have negative 1/2. All right, so that makes it a little bit more challenging, but I think we can handle it. So we're going to start by plugging in 0. We do negative 1/2 of 0 plus 7. Anything times 0 is 0. Add the 7, we get 7. 0, 7. We can plot it at the same time. We start at the origin and go up 7. That brings us way up here. Then we plug in the 2. Negative 1/2 of 2 plus 7. So I'm cutting 2 in half, which is 1, but making it negative. So it's negative 1 plus 7, which is the same as doing 7 minus 1, so it's 6. 2, 6, so I go right 2 on my coordinate plane and up 6. Okay, then for 4, I plug in the 4 the same way. Negative 1/2 of 4 plus 7. Again, I'm cutting the 4 in half. That gives me 2, but it's going to be negative 2 plus 7, which is the same as doing 7 minus 2, so it's 5. Same thing, so I can graph that. We go right 4 and up 5, brings me here. Now I can plug in the 6, so I have negative 1/2 of 6 plus 7. Again, cuts the 6 in half, makes it 3, but I have to keep the negative, so it's negative 3 plus 7, which is the same as 7 minus 3, or 4. Graphing that, we go right 6 and up 4. And lastly, if I plug in 8, negative 1/2 of 8 plus 7, cuts the 8 in half, makes it negative 4. And then negative 7 minus 4, rather, or positive 7 minus 4 is 3. So we can graph that one, 8 all the way over to 8 and up to 3. So hopefully you see here that this is quite different than the lines we graphed the past couple days. Instead of it going uphill, it goes downhill. Make sure you label it with the equation. Now, the reason why it's going downhill is because it has a negative slope. So let's continue. You're going to try 2 and 3 on your own. Again, remember, you can pause the video here and come back, or try the rest and try those other 2 later on. So the slope of a line measures the steepness and direction of a line. It is given by the formula, which we've kind of talked about already. M equals change in y over change in x, or triangle y over triangle x. That small triangle is the lowercase Greek letter delta and stands for change in. So instead of having to write change in, you can put that little triangle. Until now, you've only been using the first quadrant to graph equations in slope-intercept form. Now we'll use the entire coordinate plane. Okay, so number 4, we have y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. So here, our y-intercept is the 4, and our slope is negative 2/3. So we're going to start up at 4, and we're going to go down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3. But I want to follow that pattern in the opposite direction. So if I go backwards, this is going up 2, left 3, up 2, left 3, up 2, left 3, up 2, left 3. See my thought process there? So I'm going to start back up at that 4 and go up 2, left 3, up 2, left 3, up 2, left 3. So going down 2 and right 3 makes a negative. Going up 2 and left 3 also makes a negative. So then we use our straight edge, cross that line all the way through, arrows on both ends, and label it with the equation y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. All right, number 5, same idea. So now we have Our y-intercept is -5 because of the minus sign, and our slope is -4/3. So we're going to start down at -5 below the x-axis, way down here, and we're going to go down 4, right 3. Brings me right here. I can't go any further down. So if I go up the opposite way, it's going up 4, left 3. So I'm going to follow that pattern, up 4, left 3. So starting back at the -5, up 4, left 3, up 4, left 3, up 4, left 3. Now I have enough points to make my line. Use your straight edge, arrows on both ends, and label it with the equation. So we see that these are definitely negative because they're going downhill from left to right, like you're reading a book. If it was going uphill, right to left, or left to right rather, then it would be a positive slope. Okay, let's look at number 4. So we have y equals 3x minus 4. So now notice this time the slope is positive, it's not negative. So our y-intercept is -4, and our slope is 3. So we're going to start down at -4. Remember that slope of 3 is like doing 3 over 1. So we can go up 3, right 1, up 3, right 1, up 3, right 1, up 3, right 1. Or I can go back to that -4 and go down 3, left, right 1. Sorry, down 3, left 1, and then down 3, left 1 one more time. Connect our points. It should always be straight. If it's not straight, you did something wrong. Arrows on both ends, and label it with the equation that we have up top. All right, lastly, we have number 5, y equals 1/4 x plus 2. Again, remember, this one is a positive 1/4, so the slope should look like it's going uphill. Slope is 1/4. And the y-intercept is also positive because of the plus at 2. So we're going to start at 2 on the y-axis, and then we're going to go up 1, right 4, up 1, right 4, or continuing the pattern the other way, down 1, left 4, down 1, left 4. I go back to my y-intercept and go down 1 and right 4. Down 1 and, oh, I keep saying right, down 1 and left 4. Okay, so there is my line. Use your straight edge, arrows on both ends, and label it with the equation y equals 1/4 x plus 2. All right, so hopefully you're catching on how to use an equation to very easily graph a line on a coordinate plane. So you're going to move on to today's exit ticket before doing the homework.